Hello, with Happier. I was about to say playing right here, but it is right. It is right here on Full Circle with Mikali. Karibuni sana. I hope you're having a great morning. I see your feedback. It's a lot. We posted a question on Facebook. If you've ever experienced slander from your better half during or after the relationship, and where, and that's the conversation we're getting into right now. So please, let's run the bumper before I even get into the SMSs. So I'm looking on Facebook. That is Switch TV Kenya. Elias Tale says, "No, I haven't been in a selfish relationship. Owing I haven't gotten a permanent mchumba who may make me all her love and who will be my everything in a relationship." Then mwingine anasema mimi kutoka nisikie amesema nilikuwa abusive and violent, nilishuka hiyo safari ya mapenzi. And Baba Jade said, so frustrating when she even goes to the extent of lying to the in-laws just to look good. So that is the conversation we're getting into. Like I told you, every Wednesday, Mark Mbugo is here with us. And today we're talking about character assassination.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana Mwikali.
You look sharp.
Thank you so much.
Leo umeamua. Unajua last week ulitustua. Came here in white jeans. Then today you were like, I'll show you guys.
Three-piece, huh?
You look so nice.
Thank you so much.
So talking about character assassination in relationships, and like you've had in the SMSs, people relate. It has happened before. It's happening, well, in a relationship or not.
Yes. Because, and I like how you really phrased it, because this can happen during,
Yeah.
even pre the relationship. Pre the
You don't
relationship.
even know me. Why are you even getting into a relationship with me?
That's the thing. It's what actually today we'll be looking into.
Okay.
And also as an aftermath.
Okay.
That means that for some time I've been in your life, I've picked up some things that work for me or don't work for me. So I'm going to turn those memories into something that makes you uncomfortable. See, now there's slander.
Yes.
That means precisely as you began and some of the questions that came in, slander begins by looking for positions where you're respected. Therefore, I'm targeting your friends to create a different narrative about you.
Ooh.
So that they can have conflicting information about you. So people, he or she is targeting places where you're respected, just to create that narrative so that you can have this disorder. You can come in front of people, say this is who I am. People are like, I'm just trying to compare notes of what I had about you.
Yeah.
It can even escalate to be even personality manipulation, where one acts the victim all the time. He did this to me. So that's why we need this relationship with you. Now, Mwikali, this is where it happens as a pre-character assassination. Because I bring in the context of I was messed up. Yes. So I'm acting victim. Okay. So now I'm in a relationship with you. Please try to make it better. See, now that's a pre. Yeah. We create a relationship based on that narrative.
So I would expect a certain kind of treatment, sort of like a special treatment from the onset, because I'm already selling this story that this happened to me, and it could have happened to you.
Yes.
But I don't think that's how to start a relationship.
It's not how we start, but in the initial stages, I really have to look like I'm having this self-love, this self-growth. See, this is where our primary behaviors are so polished, we are preventing the pain by saying we are okay. Okay. Or my primary behaviors are saying, come sweetheart, come. This is what I went through. So once I see a pre-heightened personality that is not you, I am forcing it to make it look like I'm doing okay. It becomes an attractive point. So when it becomes an attractive point, I have welcomed you with my primary behaviors, only for you to see it as a nightmare. So initially it began as a dream. It looked a dream to be with you. See, this is what I can do for you. It began as a dream. But once I come in and connect with your secondary behaviors, it's now a nightmare. This is the point where we make our primary behaviors more attractive by saying this is what we want. Or if it's a girl version, this is the kind of guy I would need. I would need him to be like this. So in here, you're throwing out expectations. Okay. And as a dude, I've made a move based on those expectations, only to realize later that it's something else. So it comes in different formats. Sometimes it can even be sarcastic, if not slander.
Ooh.
This means I have to take every meaningful memory, convert it into something that it's not. I can go any extra mile just to create that scenario that, hey, I'm doing okay. It can also be mockery.
Okay.
Which means now it gets to other levels where I'm just trying to character assassinate you in that way. I'm looking for conversations that look conversations, but they are actually sugar-coated to be debates. See, this is when I come in and say, Mwikali, what do you think about this and this?
Yeah.
You join into the conversation. It looks like a conversation.
Yeah.
Then as we go on, I pounce on you. And by the way, I heard this and this about you. Could you tell me about it? I fixed you. I'm trying to mock you, but I introduced it as a conversation.
Yes.
This is now how character assassination works. Generally, we are trying to say this is when one personality seeks to dominate another personality the psychological way. Now, keyword, it's character, so it's internal. We do not get to see that. There's character and there's behavior. Behavior is more of an outward manifestation.
Yes.
So that's why there's a link between behavior and character. So when we are talking about slander, personality manipulation, sarcasm, all those are behavioral. In the behavioral context, it's outside. Inside, we're in a relationship.
Yes.
But I'm taking all those memory, going out in the public domain saying, this is how she is, this is how he is. And that is one of the most dangerous areas to be in, because in a nutshell, you can survive the sarcasm in a workplace because you know it's a competitive place. But in love life, that's something else. How can you be once upon a time the girl I fell in love with?
And then these are the things that you're doing.
This is what you're taking me go through. This is what you're making me go through. Once upon a time, I was this guy to you. How come I'm taking you through this? This is what now causes, this is where phobias are born now, Mwikali, and to our viewers. Phobias of, I fear this, I fear men, I fear women,
Because
I can't
of what
fall in love.
Yeah.
This is where phobias are born. They are born during the scenario of character assassination.
But then that means there's something wrong.
There is.
There's something wrong. I can't
Deeply.
be deriving joy from making somebody else look bad.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
And
what are we dealing with? What kind of personality is that?
Mwikali, unfortunately, I'll be breaking it down. But
Okay.
this is what, it's so hard to notice because some personalities have made it to be an identity. That means this character assassination tactics have fused themselves, blended themselves with the personality traits.
Oh my goodness.
So you can generally know about this person is 24 hours sarcastic. This person is normally personality sort of manipulative. It means that this character assassination tactics have fused themselves. They have become your identity.
Can't be separated.
Can't be separated. By the way, viewers, if you're using those phobias or saying, I fear this, I can't fall in love, by the time you're using the phobias, they have already infused itself with your character. Some handle it like it's a cycle. So you kind of expect it from them. Today there will be this, tomorrow there will be that. This month we're making great progress. Next month, 2 steps back. So you're kind of wondering, now we are stuck in this relationship. What's really happening? Is this, does it have to do with me, with you? Or was there a form of character assassination before we formed a relationship? And there are those who handle it like a season. You expect them to be like this for 3 months. You just met them, things are just moving southways. Why? That's probably now when you know I'm dealing with something a little bit more. And that's how character assassination works. So it's pretty hard to know. That's why personality dating comes in, especially if they have fused themselves as personality traits. And to answer your question now, Mwikali, this is where if you twist your wrapper, he or she will take every memory and convert it into something else. I had one person say in the question that they will go as far as the in-laws to create a different impression.
Yes.
That's twisting the information. No one will tell the difference.
Yeah.
After all, it was both of you who were into the relationship.
That's true.
If you fold, now he or she will actually have a file system of everything you've ever done wrong with dates and memories.
Okay.
It will be like a sandwich of issues. If he or she crumples, then you know that's precisely what's going to happen to your self-esteem. You do something and they're like, no, they're crushing you from within. They're not supportive as they need to be.
Okay.
And eventually, if you leave things as they are, just like the rapper, it means that she will never cover you. She will expose you. She's okay with that, you living an exposed life, and the dude will not protect you. See, at times, we can be in scenarios where if the guy is protecting the lady publicly and saying, yeah, it's okay, then goes home and argues with you and said, babe, you messed up.
Yeah.
He will not protect you, and she will expose you, because she or he leaves things as they are.
As they are. So it doesn't matter if it's in here as they are, out there as they are. I really don't care. This is how I'm going to deal with it, because that's how I know how to deal with it.
Absolutely correct.
Oh my goodness.
So this is why it goes in deep, and it's pretty hard to know because, like I said, they're strongly in the secondary behaviors.
Yes.
You're precisely not going to see them. They look okay in the primary, where we have different layers. Here they said, welcome, everything is okay, let's begin a relationship. Or they look bubbly from the beginning, but as you go on, that's when you start realizing, wait a minute, I think we need to discuss some few things. So you're going to see this avoidance initially. So technically saying, unfortunately, those who kind of fold their wrapper, you pick up or exercise about 2 character assassination techniques. Those who twist exercise about 4 character assassination techniques. Those who leave things as they are, you have 1 to about 2.
That is, I'm just, I've been following my own personal traits from day one. Now I'm a bit confused. I'm like, how do I? So it depends, it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody, depending on how we've worked on our how we've worked on our personality.
Yeah.
This
so
is
I could have been the one twisting at the beginning.
in the beginning.
But how I handle this, or maybe I just don't character assassinate.
That's the thing.
I'll just be like, it ended, we're okay.
We okay.
Then there are people who are like that. It's like, it just ended. But then most people will pick up something at the end, especially if you've been left.
Yes.
Or you will come up with things after the relationship is over.
Exactly.
To justify why the relationship ended. Of course, painting yourself as, not the bad one.
Not the bad one. And I thank you for bringing that perspective, because this is on the extreme end. This is when we have no emotional maturity in the relationship.
Yes.
It's not a factor, neither is it a foundation in the relationship. We didn't set some boundaries or how we handle each other during a crisis. So what we are talking about, potentially all of us are in the same pool if emotional maturity is not the foundation or the threshold in which we operate on. So emotional pain then is really handled differently, because there are those relationships that say, you know what, we give it our best. There's no need of character assassinating each other.
So tuache tu.
Tuache tu.
Hiyo ndio mzuri.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to throw it out to you. Have you experienced character assassination in whatever way? Have you had somebody say things about you and they're wondering, who are you talking about? During the relationship, after the relationship, even in friendships, where you're just like, I was her friend. I did all these things with her, for her. Why would she go ahead or he go ahead and say such things about me? 111-444-111. That is our SMS line. Please share your stories with us. If you have any questions whatsoever, you know how we do. Mark will be here to answer them for you. So don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Full Circle Wednesday edition, and Mark Mbugu is in the building. We're talking about character assassination. He's a personality coach, so we're going through all of that. And I've asked you if you've ever had something said about you. They slander you so bad you don't even recognize who you are anymore. If you've experienced that or going through that as well, please share your stories with us. If you have any questions as well, 111-444-111. That is our SMS line. Na kuna mtu anasema hapa, maturity is the first thing I check. First character I check in a relationship. And then we have someone here who's saying, I love the conversation. Tuned in from Raka Abala Jr. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Mikali. Great day. Tuned in from Kitengela. I have never been in an abusive relationship. Okay, good for you. Mwingine anasema, I'm suffering depression because of that, and my parents don't understand what's happening with me.
Okay.
And then we have Don't Remind Me, Fatma Rodma. Don't remind me. He gave me the role of a villain, and since then I don't cry nor fight to make people believe in the old me. So they sort of like resigned to the fact and moved on. Marian Loy says yes, and it's just like today. The words hurt me a lot. And then we have one here from Sally Rose, who says, don't remind me, it led to me being disowned by my own parents. He was always the holy one, but I wonder why would someone go through with destroying one's name with lies? I'm slowly healing and trying as much as possible to move on.
Wow.
So even as you do these things, as
Yes.
this assassinator,
Yes.
assassin rather,
Assassin.
yeah, assassinator's been in anyway. You're leaving broken people behind.
Unfortunately, that's the aftermath.
Yeah.
But today's show, to our viewers who are watching us today, this show is about healing.
Yes.
So it will sound like a surgery. And don't forget that the point here is to discover who you were before the emotional pain took its hold on you. Who you were before emotional pain took its hold on you.
Yeah, because we forget.
Because we forget. And when we revisit some of these things, we are trying to say who you were before all that came. Which takes me back again to revisit those three things that I mentioned out.
Yes.
Either the emotional pain has had its hold on you in form of identity. You cannot tell the difference. When you're made the villain, it means that someone else is just seeking to dominate as the holier person or as the better person of the two. Okay. If equal people who had an intentional dating plan for their lives should hurt equally, first and foremost. Okay. Second point, I said, I think I had one viewer say that you kind of look for maturity in the first
Yes.
thing. It's pretty hard to notice.
Okay.
Let me clarify that. Because initially, you're only going to know the maturity level when you've gone through the crisis. And the first thing, people don't introduce their crisis first.
No.
Unless you find them in one.
Okay.
Unless you find them in one, then this is the point where they get to know your emotional maturity. You don't get to know them about. You don't get to know about them first. The third thing is to understand that if they have made this as an identity, then this is where the real struggle really is. Because your responsibility in that relationship means that you're going to use your personality traits to create the difference. It's something that they don't know it's existing.
Okay.
So your role in their lives is to differentiate. So they're going to fight with you because they do not know at what point it became their identity. So it's why you could be in a relationship and you're fighting first. And you're saying, probably this is not the right one for me. No. I think, in fact, if a woman starts sharing or start bringing her challenges to you, she trusts you.
Yeah.
So we're going to have this conflict, incompatibility, first and foremost. So those challenges that we're having in the beginning are actually introducing you to some very sensitive parts. Please do not roll them out. Okay. Or call it, or start character assassinating them and saying, I think she's feisty. I think she's like this. Let me give her some time. No, you just entered into a very unique zone. If she has made this a cycle in her life, then today things will be okay. Couple of months, things start changing. Again, we said about this being a season. So for a period of time, you're going to struggle with it. Then you come up again, things will be different. Remember, you're using your personality traits as a way of helping them overcome and put this relationship in a direction. So who are you before the emotional pain stuck? Precisely this is where the conversation now is going. Because if you fold, it means that precisely you love to adapt to things. Okay. You are a very inclusive person. And probably this is where the emotional pain came in, because when you were inclusive, you brought in people with their best and with their worst. You didn't filtrate at that point.
No.
So if you twist, you're a very accommodative person. You like seeing things change. You come with so much enthusiasm, not just for yourself.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It means that you're also going to attract the best and the worst as well. You crumple. Just in case for those who felt maybe I didn't touch on that. Yeah. If you crumple, it means that you come with solutions in people's lives. What are people going to do to you? Bring you their problems. Because you create solutions.
Yeah.
So you're really going to fortify your no than your yes. And eventually, those who leave things as they are, these are the people, Mwikali, that are least hurt. Why? They leave things as they are. So they kind of verify before they come in.
Okay.
These are probably the people who are saying, I've never gone through any.
Because they're always very careful before they step in. They're just like,
Let me kind of watch.
Yes.
And it depends with who you're with. Because if you're with a person who leaves things as they are, then you're going to really take this it's going to be long-term friendship before it's a relationship.
okay.
If you're with someone who folds, if you're with someone who twists, then to them, you look like you're really guarding yourself and you're not fully there. You're not really in love.
And that in love place is where the drama happens. When you've just opened up, everything's like, I'm in here for it all. We have a couple of questions coming in for you.
Okay.
I have experienced character assassination from my in-loves. Please ask Mark, how do you deal with the damage created in your personal circles through malice, slander, and accusations by in-laws? I think these are in-laws.
In-laws, yes.
Wangoi from Gatura.
Wangoi, I'd like to give you a short assignment. By the way, this is also to all other viewers. You can send in your top 4 or top 5 colors. I'll be letting you know what they say about you and your irritation points, because that question has just opened something else. Looking into your irritation points. Colors reveal a lot. So your irritation points that are unattended to create that frustration.
Yeah.
And actually allows people to comment so much about you because you no longer fight for yourself.
What are you saying? Can we do a practical with me?
Yes.
Okay.
With your top 4, top 5 colors.
White.
White.
Purple, brown. What other color? White, purple. White is like at the top of the...
That's, in fact, those 2 or 3
Yes.
are quite okay.
Okay.
So we generally, what it says about you is about intrusive conversations, which you really do not like a lot. If you're on error and I'm handling Mwikali, I avoid straight questions. I need you explaining yourself. Therefore, I avoid intrusive approach because that will be your irritation point. You will drop that conversation until I find a better approach to you. You have no problem talking about it. But my intrusive questioning sounds like I'm investigating you. So if this was a relationship, I am looking like a CID in this relationship.
Okay.
And I need to stop this intrusive questioning because it's your irritation point. If I continue like this, depending on how I handle my rapper,
Yes.
suppose I twist, I'll be like, no, Mwikali, tell me what you did. No, Mwikali, please tell me what you did. So Mark was, no, Mwikali, what did you do? See, this intrusive questioning is your irritation point.
It's actually very irritating. I was like,
See, and my tone, and depending on how
Yeah.
I handle my rapper,
it's like, can't you, like,
can't
be
I
human?
come exactly be human? Work out your approach to me. So
Okay.
when that is consistent from me,
Uh-huh.
I am character assassinating you in the relationship. You're in love with me, so to speak,
Okay.
if this was a relationship,
Yes.
but you have a problem with how I'm approaching you.
Okay.
Colors told me your kind of approach.
Oh my God. Please, guys, send in your colors. Please do 111 just before we go on a break. And we'll try get to them, and we'll have Mark tell you what your irritation points are.
Absolutely.
That was so true. So true. Kara, what is your color? Is it brown? Purple. Okay, purple.
Purple, do not be aggressive when you're talking to Carol. Don't create that domineering or dominating approach. Give her her space, let her finish up, and then you know how you're going to approach her. Carol, you had that?
Carol is my producer. I have to agree. That is so her. I agree. Carol, are you saying no? Hi, Mwikali and the guest. I'm into a relationship whereby my man took you a misunderstanding where I was accused about things I didn't do. When I ask him, he ain't responding and keeps on repeating and bringing up things that we had talked about, that sort of thing already that happened. So I usually don't understand. So they'll probably listen to what other people are saying.
Yes, they'll probably listen to what other people are saying before they actually prepare for your kind of approach that you will use. See, now this is a person who actually creates that. Naturally, she creates that environment, or he or she would create that environment to give you room to give your opinion because of affirmation. This is my emotional pain. Do affirm me on what I did wrong. So I give you room to give your opinion or your perspective. So however you put it can escalate things. I know what I did. This is my emotional pain, but what's your view about it? I'm inclusive.
Yeah.
See, this is where now our wrapper and choice of color reveal in terms of how we can actually handle this and how I'm to handle your character first before it becomes a behavior that people can actually witness and see. So by the time you're tracking it at the behavioral stage, it's public already.
Yes.
People are going to go like, okay, now what's really happening here? Are you being handled okay? So you try, depending on how you handle your wrapper, if you twist, you want to be more happy to cover the pain because it's now public. But when you come home privately, because I know your character, you just shut down.
You know, listening at this conversation, I think my very first guest talked about codependency and narcissism, and he grew up as a codependent, and he mentioned something about how he always attracted them. He was sort of like sought out by narcissistic people, girls, men, you know, your friends that will take advantage of you. And listening to character assassination, then if it's something that's happening even before we get into a relationship, that means I'm already looking at you as someone that naweza kugandamiza.
Absolutely. Because now Mwikali ishafika at the level of character traits.
Yes.
It has infused itself. You're looking for sarcastic people as well. Because humor to you comes out weirdly. So once it's infused with your character traits, sarcastic people look for sarcastic environment. Narcissistic people look for narcissism, comments. Personality manipulation, you also look for that because this pain has to recycle itself around. That is why it gets to a point when someone is so happy, you're irritated. Why are they so happy? I'm angry. You need to be angry. So I start narcissistically attacking your character. Because I need you sharing what's going on with me. And character assassinations of that nature look for company. They look for company so that depending on what scenarios you are in, we want to conflict. When I look for company and we are talking about so and so, we need creating the same conversation about so and so. See, I'm looking for company. Oh, Mwikali, do you know about this? Oh, yeah, Mark, you know, there was this and this about that person. I've already looked for company. So it's a very unusual stage when it happens on a before predating the person.
Okay.
When you're with the person, this is where now personality disorders come in because your mind and your heart are arguing about the person. I have great memories, but you showed me who you are in the beginning. I'm still passionate about you. Why are you showing me this now? So the mind and the heart are in constant argument to seek clarity about you.
Your questions. Ziko wapi jameni? Where Mwikali, my namesake, mi napenda dull colors. I'm not a bright person in terms of colors. Black, jungle green and such. I like peach as well. Ebu, niambiwe yangu.
That's interesting. You see, when you have dull colors, then you have peach. Precisely, if they could be slightly honest on how they handled previous relationships, but sometimes it does not have to do with relationships. Sometimes it's also on the lines of friendship. Basically, there's something that is draining you. When you are subtle about dull colors, there's something that is draining. We kind of revert more to something that is really not alarming, something that is not really screaming. It has to do with something that has to do with draining. When you've gone through so deep experiences, incisions, scars like those that we are talking about, and they are on a psychological level, remember viewers, when it's on a psychological level, that means it's been deep enough And this is where even Mwikali, some relationships go south. Some relationships are actually going to kill your self-esteem, drain your self-esteem. Some people are going to steal your dreams, your passion. Some relationships are dangerous. Some of you might actually consider a breakup as a blessing. And some of you are actually going to say, all right, I think I lost someone. This is why it's always a twofold. There are those who are going to say, thank you. I've just discovered and saved what's left. I'm really going to grow what's left of me.
Yeah.
It becomes a blessing on that point. For some, if you're the one doing it, remember, because you can either do it maliciously or non-maliciously, which means you have no idea you are attacking the other person. This is where you can even lose people that you actually do need. You lost them along the way. It was not necessary. I know you may try to get it back. So in regards to your question, when you see a reflection of tilting more to dull colors, there's something that is draining. I think naturally you wouldn't go in that direction. That's why we have that peach. It's a subtle color that kind of brings in life. I think you need to kind of find yourself in this so that you actually have an upbeat. Naturally, we should have a balance of bright, subtle colors, but not dull.
Mi nilianza na white watu wangu. Nasema, hi Mwikali, I'm Mercy. So I've been in this relationship and it's just that the dude was always making himself the victim. So it will always be like whatever happens and we have any issue, I'll try to talk it out, but then he'll take it back to you did this and that, and it turns out I'm the problem. I've always been apologizing for whatever happens, which I'm not complaining, but I feel there's something he's not telling me. Right now we don't talk and I don't know why, yet he always tells me to talk. When I do, he doesn't respond or starts saying he's not into questions. What could be the problem? They really went into explaining.
And I love the detail.
Yeah.
What's happening in a nutshell, it's a cycle. He presents the situation, things are good, then gets back to it. The assassination, character assassination, to be clear, is personality manipulation.
Yeah.
I'm the victim. Use your traits, use your personality traits to, first of all, deal with the cycle. One targeted issue. Keep your laser focus on one issue. Because when you keep on one issue, you've already cut the cycle.
Okay.
One issue. Don't discuss 4, 5, no. One. Begin with one. And now things will start now realigning themselves. Please use your personality traits. Find out what he liked about you.
Okay. Final question.
Please.
In 1 minute.
Yes.
Mwikali, my favorite colors are red, white, purple, and blue. That is Esther.
Esther, you like being in charge in most cases. You love when you're in control of things. That's great when you have goals. It might be challenging when you're in a relationship. Sometimes it may appear that you want your way all the time, depending on what his colors are or how his personality is, or even how you handle your wrapper. So there's nothing wrong with being in charge. But when a crisis comes, please explain yourself. Okay. Because your words can come in too strong on a bad day for him. On a good day, I love that you're motivated. You keep things in control when things are going sideways. That's what's special about you.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
The colors are many here, and our time is up. Oh. Yeah, Miriam, I see you. With love, but this session has come to an end. Social media, you can all direct those colors questions directly to Mark because he does this.
I do this.
Yes.
Yes.
Please, wakupate wapi?
Nipateni kwa YouTube, that's Mark Mbogwa. At Twitter, at Gifted Purpose. In Instagram, that is Mark_Mbogwa. And finally, in Facebook, that is Mark Mbogwa. See you there.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back. This is Full Circle with Mwikali.